artifacts to people who want them. Otherwise, I think I would be best put in libraries. I don't tend to gather information with people very well.
Well, neither does Thorok, but there are other ways of gathering information.
No, but you have a social skill, sense motive.
It's not...
My trait that allows me to be good at anything regarding charisma is not effective for gathering information.
Essentially, though, the bigger thing here, though, is as a group, tell me what question you want to try ask about her.
That's a good...
Give me a question which the group goes out in all their various methods and tries to discover.
Do we just want to find out more about the kind of things she likes or doesn't like, or
I
what
suppose
she's like
one
as a
thing.
person?
Yeah,
I suppose questions that we do need to ask are things along the lines of excuse me. Her stances on, helping versus not helping situations with that occur naturally would be one thing to look at.
Yeah, does she think natural disasters are within her jurisdiction?
How does she feel about it?
Does she prefer to,
nature run its course, or
yeah,
does she mind interfering with stuff like this?
Secondly, how does she feel about foreigners would be a good thing to check.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the first question you want to try to get information
on? How she feels about foreigners seems like a good thing to check.
Yeah, I think that's fair, considering we're all...
How racist is she, basically?
Yeah.
Racism would be another good thing to look at. Although I don't think she would be, considering the city and
the city doesn't have a whole
the
lot of
natural
racism,
world doesn't. The natural world doesn't really tend to see race very much.
No, this is a city of nationalists, though. Probably the biggest.
J-Mac, why are you wanting to slather her in butter?
Buttering her up.
Well,
I know.
The group then can disperse. Since you have 5 members searching about, well, every single player has the opportunity to roll me a d6.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
I still have a ball from yesterday.
4. 4, 3.
Oh, let's continue the trend. You can do it.
No.
3.
Okay, I see a 4 in there.
Yes, there is a 4.
There's a 4.
George has an opportunity to try to obtain information.
Oh god, why?
Let's see what it is.
Yeah, if you roll a 6, you automatically get information. If you get a 4 or 5, you have an opportunity to, but you might screw it up.
Just heads up, I'm gonna screw this up.
Don't fuck up.
No, it'll be fine. You can do it.
Don't fuck up.
George finds himself, as George has often does, in a bar.
Where he gets most of his information.
This is not. Admittedly, this is not an ordinary bar. This is the Keith bar.
Oh, this is different.
If only Thorok was there.
The location imbued with a thin mist of fine drugs in the air.
Thorok would actually be able to resist most of that.
George himself it's up to him if he's been indulging himself in it or just kind of trying to see what he can find out.
He has not been indulging.
One thing he has noted, though, around this area of town in particular, has an exceptional large amount of greenery in it, and very similar things. And he's seen
growing cannabis.
And he has seen multiple acts of druids in this local area, and he believes he's found a hangout for some of the local druids.
Bunch of stoners.
Oh, neat.
Inside, Jortes catches a conversation between a pair of. I mean, they look like just raggedy farmers by initial, until you realize they are actually rather potent druids in their own right.
Partially, you get that clue always look.
Partly you get that clue by the fact that you realise that the camels outside, who Jordas was pretty sure was watching him, were actually watching him if they were intelligent creatures.
He waves at them.
And you hear them discussing Lady Romania.
Ah.
They seem to be discussing the councilman's local recent activity in something known as the Circle of Nine. How does Jordas want to approach this as those two people sit in the back corner of the bar and talk to each other?
I'm tempted to just sit there and listen in.
So
I mean,
that's where
you're
his strength is.
Yeah, you're the most likely to be able to do that. And also, casually blending in with a crowd and stuff is stealth, so...
It's either stealth or disguise to blend into a crowd.
I mean, we're in a bar. Does he really need to blend in?
I would suggest you do in order to be able to, like, actually get good information from it and not have them notice you listening in.
Just walk out to them and go, "Excuse me, are those your camels out front?"
Actually, more in this circumstance, it would actually be a perception check to overhear from the various noises in the bar.
Yeah.
Including the sound of the camels spitting in people's faces and relevant screaming.
My eyes!
And if I'm right, this is a distance-based thing as well, so... Yay!
There's
Lack
always
of penalties.
distance-based things. Well, I suppose Tears to Wine would have worn off by now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's only
Yeah.
level.
So I only have a plus 25.
Mm-hmm.
Only a plus 25.
You know, Jortes still isn't feeling great from all the heat and stuff. His fatigue would have worn off by now, I'm assuming, while we were in the palace, probably.
It's worn off, yeah.
Yeah. But he's still not feeling great for it. He probably came in because he recognised it as a bar, and then it wasn't until he got inside that he realised it was a drug bar. It was like, oh, well, it's a place I can relax. And,
It still has alcohol.
Yeah. Well, he'll be partaking in some. And then it's like, oh, those guys are actually talking about what I need to learn about. Let's listen in on into what they say. You want just a straight perception?
Mm-hmm.
Where has it gone? 36.
Okay.
Reasonable.
Pretty good.
Okay, 36 is respectable.
Unless you're having a penalties.
Having distance penalties, which I don't think at this range there would be many distance penalties.
The distance penalty in here is a -6.
Yeah,
Oh,
penalties start accruing after, like,
10
I think it's
foot.
after, like, 10 feet, so...
Yeah.
Generally, it's every 20 feet, however, it's 10 feet in here because of how bustling it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that becomes a -3 then.
Mhm.
Man, in another level that would be like a -2 or something. So... what does he hear?
Good question.
I know, that's why I asked it.
Give me a minute.
You know, Jortes was really looking forward to coming to the desert, and then you guys screwed it up by making him not die. Oh, sideline, I've been meaning to ask you, what sort of range does your teleport have?
900 miles.
900 miles. Oh, yay. Hit a circle of 9, elite group of spirit talkers known for their ancestral communion.
Ancestors, you say?
Hmm.
Oh, so no antisocial free. I'm sad.
I mean, there might be.
But if that's the information Jortes manages to get himself.
Doesn't really answer how she is with foreigners, but it's a start.
Elitist group, so probably not that great.
Just because they're elitist doesn't mean they hate foreigners.
Well, it just means that we'll have to pander a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This ends the same day as you did the meeting. As kind of Jordan gets back, and none of you really find anything that's too substantial about her. You know, it turns out like her personal likes and stuff aren't really like too well detailed in made books and stuff.
No, but there might have been examples where she didn't take two people very kindly.
Yeah, and there are certainly books about her various interactions, but there's a lot to go through, and unfortunately, the only thing substantial is that so far. But perhaps more can be found tomorrow.
Yeah.
A
Well-
substantial amount of information is just all useless.
Well, Dark, there's
Mhm.
something I want to do.
Yes.
I happen to have collected a fist-sized crystal many, many sessions ago.
Mm.
It's glowy and magicy and kind of magicy, resonant
Yeah.
magic. However, I've also done this before, taking a large crystal and turning it into an animated mug to give to someone who is very fond of drink.
You have done that, I remember you doing so.
Yes! It worked out very well, and this time it's a better crystal. That crystal was special to him because it came out of the throat of an undead dragon, and he was a paladin, and he respected that. This is a naturally forming crystal of, in a very ancient cave, untouched for thousands of centuries,
Oh my
and I
God.
managed to gather a small section.
No, do not make a mug out of that. That stuff is toxic.
Is it toxic? I don't think it is.
I'm fairly certain that substance should never be ingested.
It's a crystal!
Crystals in general
Yeah.
shouldn't be ingested.
Can't remember if that stuff was.
I could enchant
toxic
it
or
so it
not.
wouldn't break apart. Actually, I was going to enchant it with make it so it wouldn't break apart. It would have a hardness of
It
what, like
was
15?
some luminescent silver compound.
From underneath.
Oh, so toxic to you.
The
Okay.
illusionary one, because that was very toxic. I remember that was this extreme irritant.
Yes, an extreme irritant. That's what it was to everyone's sideline.
Oh.
The deadly drawn.
Please don't poison who we're meeting with. Not yet.
Yeah, no.
You know what we do have though?
What?
How large is that onyx?
Hey!
It's
Look,
like
I will just say, onyx and gold go very, very well together.
I know, but it's my onyx.
No.
Size of two 10-year-olds' fists.
I think we could make a
Big
very, very nice cup out of that.
Maybe a shot glass.
No, it's bigger than a shot glass. That'd make a nice mug of that.
I mean, it's two 10-year-olds'
I
fists.
don't know about
The wall
mug, but
very
a good.
thick. I mean, I can reshape crystal.
Well, if you wanna.
10-year-olds' fists are pretty sizable, honestly.
Yeah.
No.
My
I don't
hands are
regularly
not
go
much.
looking.
My hands are not much bigger than 10-year-olds.
I don't typically go and be like, "Hello, 10-year-old fist."
May I
Hey, man.
measure your fist?
J-Mac, just look at your own fist and add a few years on.
Shush you.
Wow.
But yes,
That
if
was
you,
great.
if you're able to, you can take the onyx to make a mug.
Okay. This time, Dark, I would also like to enchant it slightly differently.
Okay.
Most notably, leaving some gaps in the various enchantments, allowing things to perhaps slip in. And I will also add to the addendum of if you treat it well, it will treat you nicely back. Perhaps allowing it to be impressioned upon. Thus, sort of self-developing, maybe?
This sounds like something that could potentially go wrong.
Yes, this is why I would add the addendum to it, saying, I did this. It will be a great friend to you if you treat it as such.
Sideline. I'm going to recommend not.
I'm
Can you
going to
just make a normal
recommend
mug?
yes.
If
No, I
Sideline decides to anyway, go ahead and just roll me a flat d20, Sideline.
Are we looking at high or low here?
Yeah.
I just need a flat d20, that's all. Because I know Sideline can make it. I know Sideline's good enough to make it.
You can have a fortune charm if it's a skill check.
Got it. Can I infuse it with warm fuzzy?
Warm fuzzy.
No, you cannot.
What? Oh. She's a high level druid. She can handle it.
I suppose if it comes up
Oh,
horrible,
shame
we
it's
just
just-
don't give it to her.
Yeah.
I said, if you're doing it anyway, just flat d20.
I'm strongly recommending against this.
Why? Torin, why?
Because there's a lot of ways that this could go wrong, and I don't see how, a cup learning things and getting an impression on someone is going to be good, especially if they decide to do something less than ideal. We don't exactly want our gift to just throw her drink in her face. That would be a very, very bad situation for us.
Mutter, fine. I want to do it.
After we clear up this whole situation, maybe you could make something like that for me.
Fine.
I certainly drink enough to use it.
Side note, does anyone here know Five Nights, 5 Days a Stranger?
Yes, that's a really good game.
I'm just saying, if you know the idol from that, that's what basically I'm thinking could end up happening.
I mean, maybe. I'd rather not that we don't get sucked into Weird Hill Realm. That'd be great.
That's
Yeah,
very,
that'd be good.
Anyway. Moving on.
Fine, I'll make it not intelligent for.
Okay. Sideline makes a most martyrful mug.
Out of a 2,000 gold piece onyx.
Goodbye, Onyx. I knew you
We should
briefly.
really add like a whole bunch of like gold to it too, because gold and onyx go very, very well together.
Might not be her aesthetical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if
I don't
anything,
know. I don't know.
she-
Looking at her,
I guess so. She's a shaman, though, of an elitist sect of shamans.
You're right, and she is the top. We should use platinum instead.
No.
I guess if you want.
I will make the mug. I will enchant it. I'll pay for the enchantments. I'm not paying for platinum.
We're already giving her a fantastically made mug out of onyx that was worth 2,000 gold itself. I don't think we need to pour more gold or platinum into this.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fine. Let's go.
Well, I disagree. It appears that all the group disagree with my disagreement.
Smile next, make a mug.
Okay, mug made. Poof, mug.
And just because it's the end of the day, Nanite surged for even better mug.
Sure.
It's an amazingly masterful mug.
The gods would drink from such a mug.
Yeah, they might.
The gods would be such a mug.
I also give the mug knowledge local, so it can sing shanties and tell stories of local bars.
If it has a knowledge skill, that means it's intelligent.
Wait, no, it doesn't have a knowledge skill, unfortunately. I'm not using a clockwork subtype.
Oh dear.
Unfortunately, it does not have a knowledge check. Never mind, it's a mug. It will have the crystal construct point added to it, so its hardness increases by 8 and gets +1 natural armor. It will take the flaw of brittle. It'll have vulnerability to cold. Not vulnerability to cold. What am I saying? It'll have clunky, so it gives the staggered condition, as well as additional movement, so it can fly.
So it's a flying brittle mug.
Not brittle. It's clunky. It's a bit,
Oh,
slow.
I thought you said you were making it
Brittle. I thought about brittle, but then I thought, no, she's gonna be pouring cold drinks into it, and perhaps she's a special druidy person. You might find one like liquid nitrogen cooled drink, and I don't want the bug to get hurt by that.
So yes, it's an amazing flying mug.
Yes.
It's better than giving a brittle mug to a cryo mage.
Yeah.
To be fair, it would only really be a problem if there was a rapid change of temperature. If it were just cold all the time, it wouldn't really be much an issue.
The next day, it's early morning. Do you want to continue getting information?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Unless there's a notice saying we have a meeting, yes.
Group spreads
More
out.
information.
Are we still
Heads out.
aiming for what she's like with foreigners?
That's what I'm still researching.
Mm-hmm.
Source us. What are you trying to get information on?
Same as before, how she is with foreigners.
Okay. Why don't you? Why does everyone give me a D6 again?
And before to.
Hey, for it!
So, about that success, Dark.
In Hero System, you would have just killed yourself.
Oh my.
We
Oh
gathered
my.
too
Unless
much
that was luck
knowledge.
rolls.
Oh, if that was luck
Sideline.
rolls, then yes, you would have been awesome off.
Which, I mean, these were luck rolls.
Hey, you succeed. Well done.
So you shoot the guy through the head, but wait, there's more.
There's
It
more!
bounces off the back wall and hits the other guy in the head.
But wait, there's more! Jesus.
Alright, Dark. 3 6s and a 4.
And a 2.
Yeah.
Who doesn't really mean?
There's just casually lounging.
Well, Cyanide, I'm afraid you don't get skill check because the other sixed it.
Jesus. Oh dear.
I'm sorry,
And
Sideline.
apparently all the others working together, scouring through books.
Ugh, books are boring.
Possibly you were seducing the librarian.
I was convincing her rather vigorously to tell us the information we needed.
Yes, the vigorous seduction.
Um,
Yes, this is why we bring a man whore with us.
Hey,
oh my, oh
he's
my.
just really glad to be of service.
Not only do you get your information you were searching for in additional information, you also get an extra bit of information on top.
Yay!
More info.
Because we're good
yay.
at this.
You got very lucky
Doing
today.
well.
Or searched the right places.
Mm-hmm.
Or service the right librarians, apparently.
Hey, I searched all the nooks and crannies.
I'm sure you did.
Oh my.
Jortes is very thorough, I'll give him that.
No comment.
I will note I have not done anything with Sideline, and I don't know how he knows that.
There you go.
Very proud nationalist of her city and homeland. Has
Yeah. So she's easily insulted, and she lost her husband to an orc raid.
okay.
Glad to
so
know
she-
none of us are orcs.
No, but
Can't be.
none of us are from the city, so
So she's not likely to immediately like us, but she's not going to kill us without us insulting her.
actually, this might be good because we can play to her pride.
Hmm.
Right. So
Instead of
anybody
actively insulting her city, we actively compliment it.
right. So anybody who is not willing to grovel, do not show up to the meeting.
Meanwhile, as the group go back to the chateau for lunch,
Mm-hmm.
I like lunch.
or in Simon's case, re-oiling himself perhaps,
Yeah.
Toast.
Oil and toast.
And marshmallows.
you find politely waiting at the door a young elven woman, 17, 18, somewhere in that range. Well, half elven woman, 17, 18, so barely an adult, but an adult technically.
Why, hello there.
She's clearly a native of the area with her tan and dark skin, and in a slightly broken Imperial comment, though, still understandable. Hello, all of you. You have a meeting up in the palace.
When?
Hello?
She holds out a letter. Here are the summons.
I take it and
Torrin
hand it
will
to Torrin.
Torrin will just open it immediately.
You have a meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Got it.
Your meeting is with Councilwoman Romania.
Yep. All right.
Excellent.
Oh my god, we got this information now.
And with that, the messenger will head off unless you have something else for her.
No, Jortis will just thank you and compliment her on a job well done.
She'll go off with a smile and a wave at Jortis.
He waves back.
Oh dear.
What?
You're far too flirty.
Keep it in your pants.
It is in my pants. Why do you think she's running off rather than coming in?
You have one more session of gather intel before tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, mug! But more, the glass is black.
Yeah. I mean, you can continue making mugs, especially since you've got overnight to make mugs.
That's a really fancy mug.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's very fancy.
All right,
So, for the last intel gathering, do we think we should aim it more towards, like, whether she'd be willing to involve herself or have people involve themselves on her behalf in the whole road business? Or whether she's more, it's outside of the city, therefore I don't care.
That might be good to figure out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her disposition
However,
towards
I also think some of us should look more into what else she might enjoy as gifts or tribute.
I think we have
Yeah.
enough gifts. Gifts. Too much gifts looks like bribes. This
Yeah.
looks like a
Yeah.
gift.
True.
No,
Two
but
gifts
no,
of-
but no, but like, okay, so we bring a strong drink, so I'm gonna drink it with, and like maybe one other item.
Perhaps
I
she
like
likes
the
a good
cup
cheese
strong.
to go with her. Probably.
Thorak, would you like to come with me? I have an idea.
Oh god.
What are you two doing?
Tell me your idea first.
Lots of mountains around here. Mountains have snow on the top. Perhaps we could find some rare ice.
Their desert mountainside line.
I also don't think ice works like that.
You're not gonna be able to transport it fast enough, sideline. Don't try.
Aye, these mountains are far too short to
And
develop ice.
too far away from our current location.
Aye.
Plus, by the time we get through bureaucracy and into the meeting, it'll have melted.
I can keep it cold. That's not a problem.
I also don't think we're really gonna find rare ice here.
True. Not in this area. We'd probably have to go
Aye,
north.
and besides, what would you be wanting it for?
To cool the drink with?
I'm sure she can cool her own drink. She
Aye.
probably has an infinite supply of ice already. It's fine.
Aye. Actually,
Okay.
one thing that's likely going to be very important here is that for the alcohols, we may want to look for a local alcohol. Or, I guess Thylarum would also work. It's just a very potent alcohol in its own right and doesn't really have a nationality tied to it. But I don't think we should be giving her fire whiskey or elven absinthe.
Why?
I was going to give it a Thylarum.
Because those are far too tied to peoples of another nation.
Yes, but they also have elves and dwarfs living here in the city. You know,
Mhm.
one of them just delivered the message for us.
Then elves are notably, enemies against the orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, as are dwarves, I know.
I mean, if she is a racist, I don't think she's gonna be like, the most precise racist.
I mean, if you don't want to give her the absinthe, I also have a fine elven wine, and I have a mystery wine. I'm not sure what this one is.
Don't give her the mystery wine.
It turns out to be orc
If
wine.
we don't know what it is, then we probably shouldn't be giving it to other people.
I mean, I can pretty much guarantee it's a good vintage. I just don't know if it's actually good.
Because he stole it from someone else's wine cellar.
Yeah, he did. And he utterly failed on every knowledge check he could have made to work out if it was good or not.
Can I see it?
No.
Oh.
It's in my room in bags and stuff.
Anyway, so has the group got their additional question?
I want to aim more towards, the business with the road rather than another gift for her.
Yeah, I think that would be good. The rest we can do with just sweet words and stuff.
Yeah, what is her
Sweet
opinion of this
words.
on the road?
Yeah, I suppose that will have to be what we aim for.
Mm-hmm.
So another d6 each?
Yep.
Woo!
1, 4.
Fucking hell!
Wow.
I cannot.
So your test again!
So your test. I mean, admittedly, if everyone on the road with gather information bonuses is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though that's only on his diplomacy.
Damn you, Bloodline.
And
Works better.
I think.
Kicks it.
Torin has found Jortas has found himself in front of the palace again.
What
In
am I
front-
doing here?
In one of the various pavilions once again.
Well, at least it's cooler here. That's probably why he came up there.
Mm-hmm. He's been talking with half an hour with a rather beautiful looking elf.
Probably thinking, oh god, she never shuts up, but hey, this might be worth it.
Mm-hmm. It's been a long and mostly dry session for the most part. And then she drops something on you. Not
Oh
physically,
my.
but information. as
she dropped
kind of
the
been like
beat, yes.
as it kind of been like idle offhand. She kind of mentions that. Oh yeah, and last week I was at Lady Romania's place. She had this wonderful party, and perhaps this is an opportunity where Jordan can try to find out more information.
Yes. Would I be able to attempt a diplomacy check to basically steer the conversation towards the party, what happened there, what they discussed there?
Yes. The question is, does
Get
Jordan
information out of her.
want to do this with being subtle, or does he not care too much about being subtle about it? If you're being subtle, this becomes influencing the court. This becomes influencing the course of it, influencing someone else's action. A suggested course of action, which then becomes bluff to start off
Oh,
with.
no. Dear God, no.
It's still technically a diplomacy check. It's just you have to make a bluff at -10 first.
I have a +4 to bluff.
In this
Yeah.
case, it would just be a bluff check, and you wouldn't have to do the -10, but still. He can internally just basically just try asking like actual questions to her.
Mhm.
Just the point that she won't be subtle at all. Just you'll be flat out asking questions.
I say you go for the more sweet talk method.
Seduce and ask questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
That way, it might.
That is
she
more
might-
his style.
It also sort of leads to, if you do well, it also tends to lead to where people they don't generally give it up.
And if he does
Because it
really
might
well,
cause
he
a
won't be
scandal.
coming back tonight.
I love parties. Tell me more about this party.
Essentially.
Sure.
I'm sure you were the life of it.
Please show me. Let's see how good Jordan is good at seducing today.
So, what check do you want then?
Diplomacy to gather information.
Right.
That is your goal here. Your goal is not actually to seduce. Your goal is to gather information.
Well, I mean,
Send
if
the
he
guys of
seduces as a side effect, that's a bonus.
You can try more seducing later.
Let's see, I get +3 to gather information, so yay, go. 28.
Okay, 28. You get something from that.
Hmm. I don't like these silencers.
I really should have rolled a d20. Damn it!
It's fine. You'll be
No
fine.
sideline.
We don't even know if high was good or if high was bad.
Oh, that d20.
Yeah. It might have been that was actually just determining like its personality or something.
So she has called the events of the Ruby Road a bad omen of the spirits, and has thus far remained distant from the event.
Okay.
So she may be unwilling to
Personally partake.
do it. Yeah, personally deal with it, but she might be more willing to send other people to look into it.
Either that, or if we can.
Especially if they promise to like work with the druids and such to appease the spirits rather than just blow the road open.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I feel like it being a bad omen is actually a good thing because that means that she doesn't like the events. She would likely like to change the events. Good omen.
As Jordas comes back with a number of makeup marks all over his face.
Of course.
Jorteski sent you out for information, not this.
And I brought information back. You're
I was
just
about to
jealous
say,
that I got
Jordan,
more
so
than
you were
information.
successful.
Mate, you really should learn by now that if I come back like this, chances are I have information.
He's generally
Even I
I
have
give it a
made the correlation.
50-50.
yeah, he generally succeeds whenever he comes back like this. So
I give it a 50-50.
You're just jealous.
No, I'm really not.
it's to our advantage.
Yes. The night will arrive, and the night will go on. And it won't be too bad. And the next morning, you awaken. It is blaringly hot outside.
Why?
Everyone must attempt fortitude saves for this blaringly hot morning.
Sarah's just gonna cast Endure Elements because she wants to like give a good impression of not sweating everywhere.
Okay.
Thorok's don't bother with Thorok because he's immune to most of these anyway.
Your test got an 18.
You're fine.
Yay!
25!
3.
Okay, the group's fine. Everyone's fine.
Yay! Your test will make a point of
Elliot's
making
not
sure
doing the
he
best.
got-
Elliot's going to hide indoors for today.
Elliot can have Endure Elements if it
Have
wants.
Endure Elements, Elliot.
Okay, he's not going to hide as much, but
And are you giving him it, or shall I give him it?
I mean, I already prepared 3 anyway. One for myself, one for Rylan, and one for Elliot.
Fair
okay,
enough.
that's fine then.
Your test will make a point of making sure he got all the makeup off before putting his courtier's outfit on.
Mhm.
Just have, Steward help you with that.
I'm
stewardess, if you
capable of
prefer.
getting dressed by myself.
I was talking more about, the makeup and helping you hide the
Oh.
mark on your neck.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah. What
It
can I
was a
say?
gr-
She got by
It was a great afternoon.
At
There
one
was
point,
so-
I was wondering if she was a vampire or not.
It's a good thing for everyone else that they had some very tall hedges. Moving on.
What did I tell you about keeping it in your pants?
Do you head back to the palace, or do you skip
the
the meeting?
lady gets what the lady
Go
wants.
to Palace.
Okay,
Yes,
so is
Palace.
anybody here not willing to, essentially grovel and praise?
On a separate thing.
Mostly looking at you, Sarah.
Why are you looking at me? I've groveled plenty of times before. Well, maybe not groveled, but more like flattered.
Sideline, I feel like you'd be better placed in the chateau this time around.
Mhm.
She's of the
Also-
natural world, and you are quite distinctly unnatural.
Also, if I might make a suggestion, make sure that we have a tongue spell constantly going through the discussion.
Yes.
Because if we have to go back to Imperial Common, she's probably going to get annoyed by that, at the very
Well-
least.
That's what you'll have to decide for me. Do I go Arcane or do I go Imperious?
Arcane, I feel, because a tongue spell would work much better in our favor.
Okay, well, we will not be getting Heroism, I'm afraid.
I could provide it.
Yeah, but I could provide more.
You could.
What else am I changing? Okay, so tongues.
Sideline, are you okay with staying behind?
I could bring my rabbit. My rabbit's natural. I'm friend of animals.
No.
But not
Sorry,
eagles.
it's fine.
I mean, you can come if you want to stand in the background, look pretty with me.
Okay.
Sorry,
Actually,
talk.
no.
Also,
I'll man the fort.
Yeah,
It's
but
okay.
usually there's not much of a
Thank you,
space to
Side.
talk.
Thank you, Sideline.
But I made the mug.
Sarah, something else bloodline
We
wise.
will present it to you as a gift from our master craftsman.
Something else,
Well,
Sarah.
I prefer super Kami craftsman.
Yes, for
Well, no. But bloodline wise, she seems to be very tied to the spirits, so maybe a spiritual bloodline might be able to help you.
well, Visha isn't kind of prepared, like giving you tongues.
Arcane allows her to select an extra spell she doesn't already know. Okay.
I know.
The only other option it has is Aberrant, which I'm sure that will go down greatly. I mean, I could also go Maestro, but that gives me
with
like.
Arcane. That
Yep.
seems like the best idea.
On the bright
Yeah.
side, we'll have Maggie, and she actually has knowledge.
You sure you want to leave me behind? That's also my booze.
You can come with us. We're not stopping you from coming with us.
I'm just recommending against coming with us because you're unnatural and she is an advocate of nature. That's all I'm saying.
I'm an advocate of nature. I think everything should live.
I sidelined another thing. You're not good at sticking up to people. Neither am I. The only reason I'm going to be there is I'm going to be standing back and watching over.
And I'm pretty sure we don't all
You
have
are-
to get down and kiss our feet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I will if necessary.
Yeah, but I
Right,
don't just really get
Right,
that.
Rylan comes over and offers to take you to the gun range he found.
Yeah, don't you also have to go and talk to that gunsmith guy you met last time?
Sideline pivots on a heel and starts walking with Rylan.
Off to the gun range. Whee!
You're all as subtle as a ton of bricks.
Hey,
I'm
Rylan
not here to be
doesn't.
subtle, Sarah.
Rylan got rid of sideline.
Okay,
I-
correction.
with- also-
You're as unfriendly as a ton of bricks.
With sideline, you need to be
I
subtle
am
like a
good at
brick.
making friends.
Sarah just
Well, I am
gives
now.
Thornton a very deadpan look.
I have, in this past year, become much better at making friends.
I'm pegging that on this.
100
He
times
kind
a
of
0
has.
is still 0. Sideline shouts, walking away.
Oh, dear.
Well, out of the frying pan into the very large fire.
Mm-hmm.
So
Attention
what
all-
now?
Attention all citizens. It will rain tomorrow.
Oh, thank God.
Woo!
Please put out the tops tonight to prevent flooding. Thank you.
Of a what? The tart.
Tarps.
Tarps.
Tarps. They gather rainwater in it.
I know, but come on, tarts.
Before we go in, what
Because of course most of the city's
alcohol are we
architecture isn't
giving
designed
her?
for rain.
Before we go
What
in,
the-
what alcohol are we giving her?
I honestly think the Thylarum is going to be our best bet here.
Let's see, we have Thylarum. I also have,
If anything, she might not even drink it. She might keep it as a collector's item.
yeah. I also have a, bottle of finely aged rare Volgamar alcohol.
I've
I've
holy
also,
water.
I've also got a, dose of alcohol from Keegan's recipe.
Oh God.
Guaranteed to make you drunk no matter what you are or how big you are.
I think the
I've-
Keegan recipe might be better because, once again, massive nationalist. Probably
So
not a good
Thylarum.
idea to send her something tied
we
directly to
could
another.
we could play it up.
I am giving it to her as a gift from Volgmar to her.
We could also play it up as we know that our wines aren't nearly as good as the ones available in this city, but here is a gift from up north. You know, play it up as it's a gift, but we recognise that her stuff is better.
True, that could possibly work.
This should be interesting.
Also, don't blame me if any of the information was wrong.
And Torrance is going to have the stewards help basically put it together into a nicely displayed piece to help feature the mug and the various bottles.
Sure.
As long as you mention it's from me in particular. So,
Yes, I will mention you by name.
I'm trying to get
As
my
the-
craftsman knowledge out there.
As the group sets out for the palace. Right. So, the group heads up the long way again. All those stairs. All the ramp. Especially just the ramp, honestly. You probably avoid the stairs, just go up the ramp, right? It's
Yeah.
just a graduate.
Next time I need to bring a sled. It doesn't slide back down.
See you later, suckers!
Suddenly stopped by a guard. Do you have a permit for that?
Can't catch me! Whee!
And remember how I said there was at one point like a 300-foot drop off the edge?
Yep, straight over.
Whee! Do you have a 4?
Nope.
Whee!
Splat.
Splat.
Well, that's that quest done.
Yeah, on the right side, the Camilla quest would be over.
No, not really. At this point, Thork's kind of set on destroying this ring for the fact that it's a super dangerous magical item.
Fair enough.
Or a super evil magical
Yes, you
sorceress.
arrive up there. You do have an opportunity to talk to people in the plaza again, or you can just try going straight up the front door.
Maybe we could try and listen to see if she's in a good mood, if people seem to have interacted with her at all.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Hmm.
Shall I go mingle?
Yeah, we have a few minutes.
Yeah, you and Jortes should be good to mingle for that.
So is Romania in a good mood right now?
Yep.
Let's find out. Diplomacy?
Yep.
Find
Gather
out.
information.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Jortes.
Well,
Oh, wow.
it turns out good mood would be a stretch.
Of course. Oh yeah.
Of course.
It seems she got into a slight squabble. Okay. A large conflict with Stuart Nona.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Who won?
Well, Nona walked out of there. Walked out of there, just slightly brushing off dust off her robe.
So she did.
What happened in there, the details are not known, but Mini7's been avoiding that section of the past.
Of course.
Well, let's just walk right in.
Well,
Okay,
like
you got-
knock on
you
the
got the-
door and such.
You got
Well,
cigars.
I'm going to be going through the same process that we did with Ron. So
You'll be brought in. A guard will take you in, looking rather more. This guard seems to be slightly more nervous. Who brings you in though? Your guard stuff to be confiscated,
yep,
and you'll
same
be slowly.
procedure as last time.
And then you'll be taken across the wonderfully huge palace.
Puffing tears to wine and
Chug.
Everyone gets tongues.
focus scrutiny.
And halfway across your way across, a certain halfling wanders up towards the group and stops the guard.
Hello.
Stewardess.
Good afternoon again. You can't seem to keep yourself away.
Well, with a pretty thing like you here, how could we?
Why, thank you.
Yes, we have much business to attend to, and
Don't worry about this, Sebastian. You go back. You can go and take a break. I'll escort them the rest of the way.
this would seem problematic. Did you two not get in a fight earlier today?
Oh, that. Don't worry. The situation's resolved.
I fear that showing up at the door with you and arm would not make the impression that we wish to make.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Okay. Now, come on, this way. We don't want to keep her waiting.
I
Well,
suppose
just
how
follows.
How have you been enjoying this fine city?
quite a lot, save for the heat and well, I can't say I'm much of a fan of the food, but I can take care of both of those things myself,
Oh,
thankfully
I've
enough.
really enjoyed the food, but yeah, the heat's a bit too much for me.
It often is for people first arriving. Even many of the natives, admittedly, struggle with it day to day.
All I can say is thank goodness for magic and alchemy in that regard.
She nods.
And it'll be nice when it rains tonight.
If you listen out, you'll be able to hear the rain caller's song.
Your test listens.
Tonight, you'll be able to hear it. Not now.
Oh.
Cortez hears it in the future.
I can hear the future.
Hey, he heard a secret door earlier, or the other week, so hey, anything's possible.
It's not a very secret door when it keeps saying secret door.
But I'm
secret door.
glad you've been enjoying it. Is your metallic friend not here today? That's sad.
No, he thought he'd go and check out the gun range.
We
Oh,
feared
that-
that a metallic man would not make a very good impression on the shaman who works with the natural spirits.
I can understand your concern. Well, what am I to hear now? She gestures her robed arm up ahead as you see a domed building, glass roof with plants reaching out from the roof.
Mm-hmm.
I would highly recommend touching scorpions.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
I'm as poison resistant as I am. I don't put myself at risk unnecessarily.
As she will allow you to arrive at the as you arrive and you'll go through the main doors inside the outer areas, it's just nice hallways, and as you're used to. The entire time there are windows leading to this kind of inner kind of section, which is just this wonderful, beautiful garden.
Very
There's
pretty.
also the smell of strong alcohol in the air.
I think she may have started.
And for
without
once, it's
us.
not me.
Or the dwarf.
My apologies. She shouldn't be drinking them.
Most likely.
Oh no, this will work to our benefit quite well.
Do you know if she's an aggressive drunk?
I'm sure she'll be fine. If you have
That
any
didn't answer my question.
if you have any complaints, please feel free to inform me later. I can have her reprimanded if there's any issues.
I do not
I'm
believe that will
sure
be
it
an
won't
issue.
come to
Thank
that.
you very much, however.
Anyway, she knocks on a rather nice pair of double doors once again with an unusual emblem on it. Possibly this might be the emblem of the council. Judging, same emblem on the other door. As Nona calls out, Councilwoman Romania, your guests have arrived. There is a brief pause, then a slightly longer pause. Oh, Council, I heard. Please send them in. As Nona smiles brightly and opens up the door and holds it for you,
Torin will bow.
smiling like he's running you.
Torin will bow to her and just head on in.
Gives her a thankful nod and heads in.
Sir will give a shallow bow.
Thork will do the same.
All your bows don't make a whole lot of difference to the halfling who's smaller than you all.
It slightly makes one with Thorok in mind.
Slightly with Thorok, slightly.
Yeah. She's only like a foot shorter than Thorok.
She's only 2 foot shorter than your Tess.
As you enter into the room, Nona waves again before closing the door. An innocent smile on her face. Lady Romania is sitting upon her desk, crossed legs, her blade just sitting across the desk at her side. And those who can make a DC 25 perception check.
Hi.
Hello.
Doesn't even think about it.
So everyone but Sarah.
It's okay. I have Burb with me.
Everyone who make a DC 25 perception check might realise that they can notice on her shelf they, for example, notice that one of her bookshelves, which is an unfolding alcohol rack as well for pouring drinks, happens to be open right now and have multiple shot glasses on it that seem to be slightly dirty.
Lovely.
And she looks at all of you, a slight scowl. She sits there.
Hello, Council Huan. We have brought you a gift. Soren places, the basket in front of her.
She peers at it, reaches down and has a look, picks up the bottle, looks at the mug.
Yes, this mug was made by our master craftsman Sideline. It is made
Sideline?
from a very large pure
Yeah?
onyx.
You rolled a craft mug check earlier.
I could.
You should roll me a craft mug check now, as if you had made it at the time.
Don't forget your.
Nanite Surge.
Mm-hmm.
You also had the fortune charm should you have rolled badly.
You did.
Because now we get to see how well did Sideline make it.
Do
She
this.
examines it.
Burn this. Burning everything.
Don't forget
All
your-
hands on deck.
don't forget the +5 tiers of wine and +5 crafter's fortune.
And you would have had. Oh, wait. Never mind.
I could also do that. I can also. I think that might be it. Crafter's Fortune. Not Crafter's Fortune. What am I saying? What is the Bestow Insight? I can do that. Roll twice. Take a better option. And I can also have the Fortune Charm. Yeah.
Bestow Insight only works if you have a
Morale
skill point.
bonus.
Right.
I mean, you have
No.
a skill point in the relevant craft skill.
Oh,
Still
presumably.
insight's insight.
Right.
Okay, I can do that.
Surprise.
I was
Also
thinking
lowers
of
ranks.
the other one, Moment of Greatness.
That just boosts the heroism.
Yeah.
A morale, I mean.
I can't take heroism. So.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure he wasn't taking any of that into account.
What else can I do? I think that's it. Oh, wait, I didn't actually add an Nanite Surge into this.
I was gonna say, did you count your free Nanite Surge?
I think that is it. Rolling mug.
Don't
Mug.
Berry mug.
Don't add the +5 in there. I already added that in.
So a DC 61 mug.
Made of masterwork onyx. It also probably has a few gears turning quietly on it. You can see magic auras sort of wafting around it. Oh, and also, Torin, say hold out your hand.
Hold out your hand.
It's your hand.
Okay, so he made a very good magical mug that sticks to your hand and can fly, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
She examines it closely. A small smirk on her face looking at it though.
Also, do note, if you get in combat with the mug, it's also a very good weapon. She would note that it would be hardy enough to, be used as a light mace or something like that.
Mug based recently.
What language are you all speaking?
We all have tongues, so we'll be speaking per language.
Okay.
Thankfully, there's only 5 of us, so I still have 2 third level spells. Woo.
No, there's 4 of us.
Yeah, there's only 4.
Oh, right. I see. I just forget there's less of us now.
She has her scowl softens quite a bit after receiving
Orok
this
is
conversation.
going to be watching this now. Is she CR 18 or higher?
She's not 18 or higher.
All right. In that case, sense motive on her mood. I want exacts here.
It went up.
True, but I want to know exacts. 46. Or mood.
Borg has a very good idea. Had a good idea that it's a good thing you're speaking to her in like her tongue.
Hmm?
That if you didn't, all your attempts to influence her will take a -10.
Oh,
Glad we got tongues, so. Glad we know these things.
And she does seem to be impressed with the gifts, the firearm especially.
Thought so. Collector's piece, if anything.
You did get told she has like a wine collection and everything.
Okay.
it's a pleasure to meet you, Councilwoman Romina. I'm very glad that Councilwoman Nona's time wasn't wasted escorting us here.
She seemed very insistent to be the one to walk us through the door, however.
I'm sure she was.
I'm sure she's only giving this meeting the gravitas it is due.
So I'm not one for beating around the bush. You came here asking for something.
Aye.
Yes, we came here to perhaps ask us to help you resolve the situation with the roads up north. We feel that the damages to the roads from the volcanoes is a great detriment to your city and your nation, and we wish to help resolve this situation.
All
Say
right.
appease the spirits.
That will be when, she asks
Okay,
if
carry
we
on.
have a plan of action.
Well, I can't just try to give you some my support without knowing what you actually have planned here.
Well, our plans were to gather some help from the more druidic peoples of your native land, because such a natural disaster no doubt means the natural world may be upset or imbalanced in some way. And we would wish to see everything set back to a much better place. We wish to right any wrongs that may have upset the local spirits, or perhaps if there is something plaguing them, maybe we can be of assistance to help rectify the situation. And if the spirits are happy and appeased once more, perhaps they will allow us to work unaccosted at clearing the roads, or perhaps even assist us. There is no greater expert in this matter than yourself, which is why we have arranged this meeting.
Nature does not bend to mankind. Mankind has to bend to nature's whims. We can ask requests, but that's all. At least you seem to understand part of that.
I am afraid I am not a druid myself, though I am desperately trying to. What's the word I'm looking for?
BS or whatever.
Accommodate?
Spirits are always a serious matter, hence we thought it was better to seek the guidance of one more informed than us before we did anything rash. Especially because we do not want to upset anything going on here. We have no idea of what plans you may have put in for yourself, for instance.
We do understand that there is a balance here already, and being outsiders, we understand that without knowing the situation and having proper guidance, it is very possible that we may upset the balance even further, and we do not wish to cause any harm to your people or your nation. We are trying to be very careful in trying to help.
Torn, as the primary person, please roll me a check to attempt to influence her.
Can I attempt to aid?
You can
How do
attempt
you
to
aid?
No. Sarah doesn't need an explanation how to aid. She gave about. She spoke up of the arguments.
Okay.
That's why I did that. Also, I can't fail to aid.
Okay, so you can't fail the A, so that's another +2.
If you talk as part of the arguments, then you have a valid reason.
By the way, can I have the fortune charm?
Yep, you could have asked for it beforehand.
I just have this inkling that my first roll is going to go terribly. Okay, so is anybody else aiding or doing anything before I roll?
Yeah, Jortis would like to, but he wasn't speaking, and I can't think of a way for him to aid now.
And Thorok isn't much a talker, so I'm assuming he's not helping.
Wink at her. That's obviously the solution.
Jortis could try hitting on her. I
Please
don't
don't.
see it going well.
34. So I rolled a 10, and the fortune charm is roll twice and take the better result, or do I have to take?
Take whatever you get second. So I would probably go for 10. A 34 is not bad.
Okay.
It might not. I just hit my mute button twice. Might not get us as far as a higher result, but it's certainly probably not going to drive us back. Especially since we're not taking a -10 to try to speak to an Imperial Common.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there are probably miscellaneous hidden bonuses or penalties to her DC for gifts of wonderful nature.
The world's
Also-
greatest mug.
I also have a
Not the
bird.
world's greatest mug, but a very good mug nonetheless.
I'm pretty sure it is the world's greatest mug.
Pretty sure.
So far.
Yes.
You're merely outsiders. You do not know that much of the situation, but perhaps you can provide some aid. Perhaps. The spirit of appeasement is important.
Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to assist you. We will, of course, ask for nothing in return.
I'll need to have a closer look at the current situation then before I can proceed further. I have my task for you then.
Please name it.
As she gets up and with very light steps moves over to the side of her room and unclips from the wall an interesting charm woven of hemp, some unusual wood, some vines, and various other things. Think it like a spirit catcher, though very different in design, rather different in design, but it gives you a decent idea. Please take the spirit fetch to the top of Mount Celestia.
Is there a specific location you would have us take it to, or just merely the peak?
There is a statue on the peak. Simply hang it on there for the entire duration of a single day, from dawn until dusk.
So you would have us begin hanging it before the sun rises, and leave it there until the sun is completely gone, and then return. Yes.
Yes, but do not leave it overnight. For that will capture the wrong spirits in it. I'm only wanting the spiritual energies of the day spirits, though.
This will be done.
I'm pretty sure this is something we can accomplish with
This is a
I've
very
forgotten-
simple
I've
task.
forgotten what I was saying. Yeah, basically, I was trying to say that.
I would like to ask if there is any dangers we should be expecting.
I would keep your guard up for. Well, the spirits in the area have been rather upset of late. That and the volcano has been known to be the host of some fiery inhabitants.
That we can handle.
Aye, we shall prepare accordingly.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to assist you.
We'll see how your mission goes. Now, we're done. She gestures the door.
We
Good day,
shall
Council.
return as quickly as possible. Come. And Torrance is going to get up and have everybody leave before she gets irritated.
Yep.
Mhm.
Duchess will stand, give her a quick bow, and say something along the lines of, like, I hope you enjoy, the gifts and drink. And then leave with the others.
She nods lightly, watching you all leave. Having sat back down on the table, cross-legged casually.
Oh, let's get
Head
out of
on
here.
out.
Abscond.
Congratulations, you're out of the meeting.
Run away!
Okay, so what have we learned from this? Probably shouldn't trust Nona.
Mm-hmm.
Your
She seems
meeting
to be
went
a stud
fine.
hero.
She said it would.
The meeting went fine, but Nona's interference was definitely deliberate. She's a stewardess. She knew this would be coming up.
This is why I mentioned Nona seemed rather intent on escorting us. I wanted to hint that it wasn't our choice to have her escort us. She kind of decided that for herself.
Yeah, that's why I gave the backhanded comment of being like, I'm glad she had nothing better to do. Well, time to mosey on out of the palace before Nona's like, hey, I'm here to fuck up your day again.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mhm.
only had the
I
best
feel-
of intents.
No, I feel like she's testing us. And I feel like we're
She's-
passing.
She's keeping a close eye on things.
Exactly. She is very resourceful.
Short.
She is also very short.
True.
Well, let's get the hell out of Dodge.
But I think
You get
her
out
and I-
how-
And then get the Dodge into hell.
Sure, you can leave the palace.
Gathering stuff again and leave.
Yep. Time
Yep.
for preparations.
Yep.
Potions and things and stuff like that. Heat protection and
This is a really bad time to lose my resistance.
If it makes you
Meanwhile-
feel any better, a lot of us can prepare fire resistance for you.
exactly.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have had to.
I mean, I
It's
spent a
just-
feat on
It's an
it.
annoyance.
Okay. Are we just gonna make haste to Mount Celestia? Celeste?
Yeah,
So
I'd like to
the-
see. I would like to ask Dark if I found any special firearms while there.
Pew, pew.
We need to spend a day preparing, I'd say.
Yeah.
Travel through the night and then
And how far away actually is the mountain?
Mount Celestia is. It's a decent distance. It's several hundred miles. Well, actually, a bit more than that, even.
So teleportation distance?
The problem is, Simon has no idea what Mount
yeah.
Celestia is like.
exactly.
Yeah, true, I guess. Can't just
And
zap us straight to the
unfortunately,
top.
we have no idea what the statue looks like, so
Yeah,
scoring on
if
it would be
he could
very
have just zapped us straight to the top, it would have cut out half the travel. But that's fine.
Yeah. But we have an airship that moves fairly quickly. We can get there fine.
Mm-hmm. It'll be even better if we can just say, does anybody have Featherfall prepared?
Yeah.
Good. I'd say it's hot drop o'clock.
Hot dropping on top of a volcano.
Yes. This is
Am I
why
the
I
only
use
one
the
that
term
sees
hot
this as a
drop.
You know
bad
the updraft
idea?
might blow you away.
Entirely possible.
And you might actually like miss your jump and land inside the volcano.
Not likely.
Or the fiery inhabitants might take the opportunity where you can't touch them.
Yes, I would like if we're spending the day to prepare. I would like to try and find out what fire inhabitants are actually up there.
It would be a good idea for us to
Well, you have the
search that
half.
up.
Well, you still have the half day left over here.
And how fast does the ship move?
Yes.
Decently quick. Are you wondering how long it would take to get there?
Yes. Also, yeah. How long would it take to get there via ship?
Depends on the conditions. 5 days?
5 days. Really? The ship was faster than that.
It's pretty fast, but you're traveling a decent distance.
Also,
Yeah, but
there's
I
always
thought
the
the
risk
ship
of
was,
sandstorm.
Yeah, I thought the ship moved like 30 miles an hour or something like that.
No.
What was that, side, BB?
I thought it moved at like 30 miles an hour or something like that. It is a big old ship vehicle, so
It does. It moves decent. It moves decently quick. That is technically that is a thing. Though it doesn't move that speed constantly because it does slow down at times as well.
Renan does
True.
need to sleep occasionally. Kind of.
And there are also stuff you have to factor in, like wind conditions blowing in the opposite direction, and various other things.
Mhm.
yeah, still 10 miles an hour. That's
Well, it's not a hun. It's not like it's not moving. It's not. As I said, it's several hundred miles away. Not
several hundred. I thought you said 800
no, it's several hundred.
or a little
miles
over
away.
100.
There's
Several hundred miles away. Which is the reason she's not just sending out a person on horseback.
True.
It's very handy when we have an airship.
It's a long distance into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, a day or two to prepare would definitely wouldn't go amiss.
But you have a half day if you want to gather information.
Yeah, I think gathering info on the mountain would be good first. We need to be as serious as possible on this, because if we don't do this as serious as possible, I have a feeling she's going to refuse.
I mean, I doubt she has like a constant watcher on us.
No, but if
I
we
know,
fuck up
but-
and don't manage it, or if half of us die when we get back to town, she's going to turn around and go, you guys couldn't achieve this very, very simple job, which you said was very simple. Why should I trust you with dealing with the road and the spirits?
Also, the fact that she might not be able to have a constant watch over us, but she did just give us something tied directly to her.
There's also a case that she might not be the one watching us. No.
Mm-hmm.
Also possible. Because another thing, that fight with Nona might have been a ruse as well. Might have been done purposefully on both of their parts.
Who knows how deep this rabbit hole goes, but I just assume that it doesn't stop.
Never-ending rabbit hole.
No, it stops at Sinai's workshop with his pet rabbit.
Oh dear.
How's the rabbit doing, anyways?
It's quite warm.
Hmm.
It's very
Don't
fluffy in
shave
a
it.
very hot environment.
Don't shave it.
Do you want me to give it Ginger Elements?
Yeah. Actually, I can probably think of something else.
I mean, I have no problem with giving it.
Okay. There you go, rabbit. Pat, pat.
So, what would it be to find out information on the inhabitants of the mountain? Primarily, I'm wondering, is it just elementals, or is it actual creatures that are just fire resistant?
Sounds like a planes and arcana check.
Probably both, honestly.
Fucking hell. I never planeswinded it.
Well, there's
Well,
an arcana.
I can do both of those.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
would
attempt to assist someone as well, so...
Would Fist Wine still be active?
I can Boro beat it, yes.
Then that's a 30.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Something you'll see that you can't get access to the blueprints of, but you saw they had at the gun place, is all of the advanced firearms. All 5 advanced firearms.
What if I told you I need that?
Then you'd better make good friends with the head of the gunsmithing guild.
You know, he literally will walk up to someone who's probably manning the counter and point at it and say, "What if I told you I need that?"
Do you have the coinage for it?
Potentially, yes, I do.
How much?
What one is Sideline trying to go for?
What the hell was that?
We're going
Oh
Copy.
God, I don't. Oh
Coffee
God, the
was what that
rifle.
was.
the rifle is 5k base, currently times 3.
Ah!
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, but keep in mind, we know what's here. It's probably not going anywhere while our session is in action.
They
If it's
make
like-
them here.
Yeah, they make the guns. They're always
Okay.
available.
Then you'll be fine. We can come back. Just need to keep
Exactly.
a note.
Sideline's staring at it.
It's shiny
Drilling.
behind a reinforced case.
Of course, we could always try and steal it.
No.
Sideline doesn't sleep
In my
or
time
tire.
as in
He
the
spends the next
military in
3
the
weeks
Ancient Empire-
staring at it.
In the Ancient Empire, when I was on duty, I wasn't allowed one of those. Can't I hold it?
So you're trying the petty method.
Nope.
Please, mum.
Nope, he doesn't. Sorry, the shopkeeper will just hand out the gun randomly.
I'll let you hold mine.
No, they stay in the stays in the case.
Oh dear.
Meanwhile, you see that guy has a revolver at his belt.
You can pet the rabbit if you let me hold it.
Pity methods will not work on him, nor will diplomacy checks.
You're all a bunch
What
of
if I? What if I?
silly
What if I
bastards.
asked if I am a master clockmaker and thus I can work on many
No.
mechanics? No. What about now?
No.
It's just every half an hour on the dot. It's what about now?
Nope. The shopkeeper in question is as patient as Forok. You're not going to get anywhere.
Mm.
It turns out to be a good gunsman, you need wisdom.
Question:
Mhm.
Is there anything that I could do to help me potentially get, access to that?
Pay the money.
Yay, Maggie.
Was
You
that
would-
planes?
Lauren, are you going to be rolling for Arcana, or are you going to be aiding Piss?
I'm going to. I said I was going to be rolling, so
Is
What's your
Arcana?
bonus then?
Well, Jortes is currently at a 32. And I guess planes is at a 34 from Maggie.
I'm wondering because I want to know who to aid on this.
I would say aid me because I technically haven't rolled yet, and I have a plus 22 without your aid between
Okay.
my buffs.
Aiding Torin. Wow, I rolled a 1.
Why don't we?
Well, I didn't.
I mean, I could roll. I have a base 22.
Because you're busy staring at a gun.
That's true.
Wow, I actually managed to roll less than Jortes.
Wow.
Rolled a 2.
Sarah will aid Jordes because she also can't fail.
So 34 on Jortes.
What was the other
for
one?
Arcana?
Planes?
Planes.
Maggie got a 34 nat 20.
On planes.
Yes.
Yep. She can do any knowledge untrained.
Was that with or without Tears to Wine?
With. Just take a wee sip.
Are you telling me
Oh.
you made the bird drunk?
Just a
Only
wee
slightly.
bit.
Drunk.
I did ever so slightly better than the bird.
So a 34 Arcana and a 35 Planes.
Waste my 20, why don't you?
Yes.
Sideline, would you like to aid Jortes to bring him up to a 36? Or do you think you can roll better than him?
I think I could roll better than him.
Alright, then roll separately. If you can beat his 34.
So filled with cockiness.
I can roll twice for this, by the way. What's that +4? Never mind. That's
Oh, motherfucker. I have an extract that would allow me to roll twice. Is it too late, Dark?
You have made your roll.
Well,
Damn.
Sideline beat him. Barely. Is that including
By
the plus
one.
5 from
no,
visualization?
that's
of mind?
not.
So that's a 40.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care, because Jortes has a grand total of 2 ranks in Arcana, so screw all of you.
I have
No,
9,
no.
so
Well, you're not meant to be the knowledge monkey. You did very, very well in gathering information.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what we needed you for.
hmm So 35 on both.
You mean a 40.
Oh, yes, a 35 Arcana 40. Yeah, 40,
Mhm.
40 Arcana 35 Planes.
From the saddest robot who's like, I want that gun!
You can have the gun.
Pet,
Sorry.
pet.
Can I have the blueprints for the gun?
No. They don't give out the blueprint for the gun.
No, if anything, the blueprints are going to be harder to get than the actual gun.
So what you'll have to do, you'll have to buy the gun and then take it apart
Reverse
to work
engineering.
out how to
Also,
build
actually,
it.
sideline, do you have
Mhm.
gunsmithing?
Yeah.
Make sure you have gunsmithing.
I have plans for a double barrel shotgun. So that's not very useful for me.
Did you ever design the wrist gun things for Thor?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, I've been busy.
Yeah. And besides, what are you still whining about? Athena can make these.
No, she can't. She only had the double barrel shotgun.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't have the advanced firearms stuff on hand. but
Mm. No, we're not stealing anything.
I mean, these have been developed here.
True, yeah.
God, I swear Sarah is a magpie.
She really is. But,
Well,
Can I talk to your crafter?
No!
Maybe take him to lunch. I hear
I will
humans
have the
like
guard. I will
lunch.
have the guards escort you out of here.
I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm asking questions.
You're harassing.
I'm
you
not.
need a permit to harass.
Go get a permit to harass.
Sideline. Rylan, please intervene.
There's things you might face: salamanders,
Mm-hmm.
I want one.
No.
fire elementals,
Okay, so
magma elementals,
oh great, magma.
earth elementals,
Alright, just bludgeoning.
but wait, there's more.
I'll try.
The area is also known for the various fiery energies of the volcano to enhance the wildlife.
Oh great.
Am
So
I
we're
the
looking...
wildlife?
No.
For example, giant flame eagles have been known.
Oh,
Oh, great.
jeez.
Well, it depends on how hostile those are, though.
They'll be pretty territorial.
Mm-hmm. Territorial is the right part. More precisely, they are known as firebirds.
I want one.
No.
Downside,
Hell,
firebirds are very magical and also very smart as a result.
Related.
Firebirds can shoot rays of light that blind creatures they hit, and deal tons of fire damage. They also have a variety of spelling abilities, including the ability to heal, being slightly related to phoenixes.
Oh great.
I want one.
Oh.
No.
They are even known to be able to bring back the dead.
You're getting one.
No.
I would love one, but
They are more intelligent than half the party. Also more charismatic than the entire party.
Oh, Jesus. We're gonna die.
No, we're not.
These magical creatures are known to have a variety of phallic abilities. Geas, heal, rainbow pattern, reincarnate, remove disease, restoration, tongues, cure wounds, daylight, glitter dust, heat metal. Yes, heat metal.
Sideline.
Hi, sideline. Hi. Hi. Hi.
I'll stay on the ship.
look,
Pyrotechnic, see invisibility, speak with animals, guidance, detect magic.
well, it is entirely possible that we might be able to.
We can probably get a ballista crew.
I
couple
was
of ballistic
thinking along the lines of convince them we're not after their nests or anything of the sort. That we just want to complete, a task be set on us by, the local high shaman,
I'll get my bluff ready.
and then leave.
What
While
if they turn
possible,
around and
I
say
s-
she's an ass?
Who's an ass?
Then we go to Plan B.
And this is why I say we should hire some military crew here to man the ballistae on this expedition. We have 4 ballistae, correct? And the ammo
Yes.
for them. Yeah.
Yes. You may feel free to arm the ballista and shoot the healing birds out of the sky.
Mm-hmm. So, I think getting something on our weapons of our ship might be a good idea.
Question.
Yes.
Would we know if the birds are more territorial of the sky, or would they be just as likely to attack things on the land? As in, I'm thinking, if we fly in there with the airship, will they definitely attack us, or are more likely to attack us, or would it be better to park it, a day's travel away and proceed on horse?
They would be pretty territorial of the skies around their nest as well.
They're going to be territorial either way. But the airship allows us more freedom in getting there.
That's fine. It was just like, if they generally
Yeah.
don't attack things on the ground, then let's leave
Yeah,
the
that's
airship
fair.
behind.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm generally of the
We have-
opinion of that we should get to the mountain on the airship, but we should probably go up it by foot because those eagles seem like
I don't trust that we are going to survive that, because we also have to survive an entire day up there. We're going to be spending at least a single day there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to exacerbate us climbing the volcano as well. Exacerbate that with climbing the volcano.
Yes, but shooting down the firebirds seems like a bad idea if we're trying to be good with the spirits.
Yeah,
I was just thinking, we've just told the nice spiritual shaman council lady that we're trying to get balance in nature and everything, and now we're going to go and shoot down all the nice healing birds.
Yeah, but Oblivious sounds pretty spiritually significant.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Normally, I would agree with you, Thorok. Normally. This is an exception to that situation.
Still, if we find that we can't reason with them like that, we're going to have combat with them.
Yes, but we will have tried. And we will have tried our best.
I'd like to buy a scroll.
Speak with animals.
No.
No, they're public.
Energy siege shot?
Okay,
I
that sounds
think
pretty
hiring a ballista crew for the trip could be a good idea, just in case.
You do not need to speak with animals. These magical birds can speak by themselves.
Right, that's fine.
Yeah, they have tongues.
Yeah,
They also generally know Celestial and Sylvan.
Hi, I know
Right.
Celestial.
Hi, so do I. But hiring a ballista crew for this trip, I think, would be a good idea, just in case. But we should try to talk to them first.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I am saying we shouldn't climb the mountain on foot.
No, I don't think I can actually afford that scroll. I don't
Yeah.
want it though.
You
Sure.
know, as an option, we could take the airship close to the mountain, and basically try to get the birds' attention, so we could discuss whether we could, come into their airspace.
Yeah, that would. I'm fair with that.
Go through with that.
Try to bring the birds a couple of miles out from the mountain, talk with them, explain what we're trying to do, and then, get their permission to progress. Try to be respectful for them.
That would seem like our best option. And while we're in the skies and everything, and this is going on, if they decide to suddenly start attacking, the ballistic crew can start
Shoot
defending
them.
us while we attempt to leave and then sneak in on foot.
Yeah. The problem might be, like, if they do decide to attack us and we run away and then try to sneak in, they would be more on alert. But I just think, I don't particularly want to run up a mountain with everything firing at us in the first place. And I don't particularly want to charge the airship in and have it torn apart by firebirds. So it's an option.
There's also the fact that getting up to that mountain from the base of the mountain without the airship is going to take us a couple days in and of itself, at minimum.
Yes, like I said, normally I would agree with you that we should just go right to the top, but this is unfortunately a spiritual journey.
Is Thorok impatient?
No. No, Thorok is being realistic in
Yes, Torn is
our
also being,
abilities.
Torn is also being realistic in that doing things our way is probably going to piss off a lot of spirits.
And that's fine.
Spiritual
Thorok knows
and
about
it's
spiritual
that
journeys.
Look, I'll have you know the spirit started it.
It's also an important note to remember that they don't need that. She won't need to be like watching you to know how you do there, because you're going to be using a spirit fetch to see how the spirits are feeling in the area.
Mm-hmm.
If they feel like pissed off because you killed everything, she'll feel it.
Yeah.
So we respectfully kill everything.
So let's just try it my way out, and try and bring the birds out to parley first.
Yes.
And then go from there.
Parley.
Yes, parley.
Ariba.
No, that's underlay.
Anyway, the night will fall.
I feel like we should be purchasing a pair of cows and large baskets of fruit for this endeavor.
Well, the next morning will
actually-
arrive. The next morning will arrive. Would you like to buy cows?
Actually, you know what? I think we should take another day of research.
You could.
On.
Sunbirds.
I still don't feel like they're the biggest issue. I honestly feel like the salamanders are the bigger threat here.
Yes,
but
those are-
Or just the general volcano.
Still, I feel like those we can deal with because they tend to be indiscriminate in what they do. Salamanders especially.
Yes, I know salamanders tend to be evil.
They're like animals.
And when they inevitably attack us, we can deal with them very directly and probably with very few consequences.
Well, that's fine
However,
with both.
the elementals and the firebirds, I feel like we could either get around or negotiate with to some degree.
And that's fine. We can prepare to combat salamanders, but we still don't know enough about the sunbirds and the elementals to reasonably parley with them.
I mean, elementals are elemental.
Okay, yeah, the elementals maybe, but
Hello,
sunbirds, I
am
still
Susan
think we should
Elemental.
learn more about them in order to parley with them most effectively.
What's a day?
Yeah, exactly. We have time to do this. We're not pressed by it. And if anything, this would Does it honestly go further in showing the spirits that we're serious about aiding them in this, aiding them in restoring balance.
Plus, for any of you which have something to do, you could choose to skip, like, yeah, just choose to skip this and I don't know, do something in the city.
That's what I was gonna do.
Since Sarah knows we'll be researching, she'd be fine for doing this all with Maggie. Maggie can get pretty good researchy.
Yeah.
Well, I think I am going to spend some times making potions,
That's fair as well.
particularly a fire resist.
Okay.
But yeah, if Sarah wants, she can. I don't really have a lot of money to work with, but I know you have a lot of money, and having potions will help us survive the trek much better.
Well, can't you only make like one potion a day?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but it will take a few days to get there as well.
I guess. What is it you're thinking of?
Primarily healing potions and.
Also, dark question. Magic reagents are more expensive. How does this affect price cost?
This depends on the magic reagents for the potion in question.
Oh,
What kind of potion?
I'm
rest in peace, money.
I'm mostly looking at cure wounds potions and fire resistance potions.
Cure wounds will cost you 2 times as much. Fire resist will cost you 2.5.
I mean,
Okay.
I'd be pretty happy with just casting resist energy when we're there.
Okay, so you want me to just make healing potions, which,
Preferably.
as it works out, I just make them at cost because times 2 divided by 2.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget, for crafting purposes, you still use the base price.
Yes, I'm fully aware.
Okay, just making sure.
So I can make one on my own resources. Sarah, how many more are you wanting to pay for?
Hold on. How much do potions cost?
750
Potions are these?
for cure serious wounds.
Ugh,
Oh yeah.
that's a lot of money.
I'm buying them outright though.
I know. That still hurts me. It hurts me deep inside, Fork.
Sarah is the greediest of the party.
Look, it's inbuilt within my Scottish nature to be stingy as fucking possible. Look, let me shake this cup. Let me shake this cup. This cup is entirely filled with 1 and 2 pences. I could use this to kill a man.
I've got a couple of things downstairs that are the same.
Oh, there's 5 pence here. Anyway. 5 pence. Pushing. I missed it.
Told you there's 750 each for cure serious.
I know. I'm
Cure,
looking at what
cure
that
moderate is
cost.
300.
That's assuming like minimum cash level.
Yeah, minimal cast level.
Don't really need more.
I'd say maybe would it be more cheaper to make?
Cure moderates are 300 each, right?
Yeah.
So, would 2 cure moderates be worth more than 1 cure serious?
Not in the middle of combat, no.
Action economy is the question.
I guess that's true. Yes.
I feel like I mathed that wrong. Oh, it'd be times 2.
Do not multiply anything like that, JMac.
Yeah,
I'm making them at cost on the table.
I'm like messing about cash level.
Why?
So I'm trying to find a way to finagle it. I guess I could make 2 cure serious. or give you the money for to cure Sirius. Don't know if I really want to spend much else more than that though.
So does the group just spend like a day of downtime in prep for going to the mountain?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I'll roll Maggie's knowledge.
How many days do we want? Because, like I said, I don't want to just.
I would rather
Go out
not spend much.
willy-nilly.
I would rather not spend much more time in town.
Yeah, dealing probably isn't going to get us on our good side. As much as preparing will, probably.
And how about 2 days?
Well, we've
That
already
works.
spent one of those.
We've spent half of one, and we're
I
planning on
say we're
spending
good.
at least
Let's
one.
go.
And I would rather just spend the one day, if possible.
I don't think that's a good idea because we're also in an area where none of us really know much about it. The more info we can gather on this, the better equipped we're going to be to handle it.
And the faster we handle it, the better, you know.
It doesn't
We're going-
matter how fast we handle it if we fail to handle it in the first place because we're unprepared.
I mean, we've found out usually the amount that we usually find out about places anyway. There's stuff there, we know how to prepare.
And yet, we're never fully prepared for things.
Bigby, no plan of action survives first contact with the enemy.
Be that as it may, preparing your contingency plans for those generally do.
Mm-hmm. And we already have about as much information as on, what primary dangers we're going to be concerned about.
I feel like it's less we need to study more and more that we just need to spend the time coming up with plans of action.
Yes.
Which we'll have days to on the airship.
But we won't have access to materials and stuff for while
I'm
on
gonna go
the
buy a
ship.
book.
Okay.
We're in a place where we can gather resources a lot. We can gather resources we need.
We can buy resources.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
buy a
exactly.
book on the mountain.
Yeah, stuff like that.
And then we're leaving.
I just want 2 days.
Okay, vote time. Who says we're leaving today and who says we're staying an additional day?
Shall we just put in chat?
Yep. 1 leave now, 2
We're not
day.
leaving now. We're spending one day in town.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
1 day or 2 days worth of downtime. Town then. That's the question.
Well, it doesn't particularly matter what I vote. But majority.
Okay. I'll go buy a book. I can study about the mountain on the way there.
I don't know what the extra day would honestly get us.
The book costs you 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
But not 15,000. It's not a rifle in there.
Small violin plays in the distance.
The music I'm listening to got this to the sad part too.
Right, so what do we actually want to do with this one day? I know wasn't Torrin and Sarah like buying reagents and making potions.
No, she's mostly just giving me money to go do that.
Yes,
Right.
go buy yourself some candy. Don't spend it all at one place. Spend
You
it.
tell me what to do. You're not my real mom.
Is your real mom dead?
Dark, is Elliot?
Actually, I don't know.
Now?
Is Elliot free for this day?
Yes.
Can I steal him and see if we can go about hiring people?
You can try such. We'll go ahead and end the session here and see stuff people work out between sessions.
Okay.
Is there anything more I need to handle in session then? So, yeah.
Yeah.
You did politicking.
It went well.
And clearly we politicked enough to ding.
It's been like 2 sessions.
It's been 2 sessions.
Your test -1 dings.
No. Refuse.
Gain a negative level. Congratulations.
It's all the heat. You sweated out a level.
Terrible issue.
I've never
Yeah.
seen a man sweat out
Damn
his
it.
soul before, but there it is, right before my eyes.
Damn it, you'll never play with all your bloodline stuff. You have too many bloodlines.
And half of them do the same thing anyway.
Mm.
I've got like 3 bloodlines which give me +2 strength.
Okay, you had a game of politicking, and now you have somewhere you want to go.
Time for fighting the fire things. So we'll finally be able to word for nice talk thing with relatives. Like, it's like 11 o'clock. I've had like an entire
Yeah.
tub of brownies. I'm tired.
Yeah, no, I get you.
They're also really good brownies.
I gotta check something.
Hmm?
Defenses, will save. Okay, I'll be reasonable. I'll be reasonable with this.
Also,
Rylan, can I see Buzzy?
oh god.
No.
Why?
Buzzy's busy right now.
How is Buzzy busy? But is busy? What?
Rylan, did you break it?
To be honest, it has been like
I'm
19
sense
years.
motiving that.
It has been 19 years since we've actually seen Buzzy.
Hmm. Yeah, I know. I'm keeping an ear out for him.
I
Now
know,
that
I
I
bet
think of it, did he stop bringing it in for maintenance that I would ask for?
Yes.
he's probably
Where-
accidentally left out White Marsh.
Where's Buzzy?
Buzzy's busy right now.
No, what? Where? But
Where is he?
Busy doing what?
He's busy.
Did you leave him in White Marsh?
He's doing a thing.
Is he doing a thing in White Marsh?
Sadly looks at his pockets to see if they're being robbed by Buzzy. What? Where is Buzzy?
Busy right now.
That's not an answer. I can really survive this. I worry for him. I made him. He's of my wake. I care about him. I put him in your trust. What happened? What's going on?
He's okay. He's just busy. Like you get busy.
I get busy, but but my friends like knowing what I'm doing. Even if
Mostly
he's busy.
so we can stop you doing
You made a
dumb
vote and didn't
things.
tell anyone about it.
Well,
Wait, what?
that was for professional security.
Maybe, but what Buzzy's doing is security based.
Is it what he's doing security based?
Maybe.
That's not a yes.
It's not no.
It's not a no, but generally I've learned about human standards, and I've been around you for long enough that I can generally get the statistics that there's a 28% chance that you're lying. Not lying, but truthing. Truthing.
So I think you need re-oiling.
Potentially. I could be going crazy. Could be the heat.
You should go check that.
Perhaps.
Rylan,
he's
why
trying
can't
to
you ever
distract
be
you.
honest with us?
I've taught him well.
Too well.
See, and you guys say I'm a bad influence.
I think
Oh.
you have been a bad influence.
I wanted to give
How
Buzzy
have
an
I
upgrade.
been a bad influence?
Actually, I'm gonna walk over to that bar, brick-shaped thing that Hecate gave me. I'm gonna check the various signals to see if there's anything else joined to it.
No.
Buzzy
It has
would
been-
be. Buzzy would be able to.
It has been opened, though.
Opened by what? Can I see a log of users?
Buzzy is involved on a lot of users.
Okay, so he's nearby.
How long ago was it?
2 days ago.
Does
He
it say
was
help, help, I'm
nearby.
being attacked?
Help, help, I'm being oppressed.
No. There is a minor damage report.
Silent's going to plug him into the hollow book and download the damage report.
But he seemed to have lost his flight capacity.
Did Buzzy fall off the ship?
And close scene.
Oh dear. Buzzy may be dead.
Buzzy is not dead.
Well, I
Silent.
thought I knew what Silent was going to do during the downtime, but now it's sort of a frantic search for Buzzy.
No, Rylan knows what Buzzy is.
Rylan won't
Also,
tell me.
remember, like 2 days ago we were in the city, so
Mm,
we weren't traveling 2 days ago. So
mhm.
That's true. Where is Buzzy? Did you send him off to the black market? Did you sell him?
Don't sell Buzzy.
Because Rylan's